What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and tonight we're going to be talking about magazine base plates. So we have 3 magazine base plates on deck. This isn't interesting enough of a topic to talk about all by themselves and carry a video, so we're going to do 3 at a time. So on deck tonight we've got the Taran Tactical Innovations. This is a standard in the 3-gun and competition shooting, and you honestly see a lot of Gucci Glock builds sporting these. This is a great base plate available from TaranTacticalInnovations.com for about $42. You've got the Dawson Precision base plate. This is toolless, which is kind of neat, and it's available from DawsonPrecision.com for about $33. And finally, rounding out the trio is the Hyve. Hyve Technologies, I guess they're called. It's orange. They don't all have to be orange, but this one is. And it is about $35. So for those of you who like a summary and like to leave early, I'll go ahead and spoil it. My favorite is the Taran Tactical for a bevy of reasons. So I'm going to work my way up from worst to first, as it were, and discuss them with you now. So worst, last place, the Hyve. This is not a good magazine extension. I don't recommend it for full-size guns. I don't know the company's history, but I know my familiarity with the company started on the M&P Shield. They were one of the first ones to release an aluminum base plate. I think it was like a +2 or +3 that made the grip of the Shield longer, which is why it's shaped like this. It was a really good base plate for that particular pistol. As you can see, they've taken it and done it with a full-size pistol, which is completely superfluous. Nobody was asking for this, yet they give it to you. So the really big downsides of this are a couple fold. Well, it looks ridiculous on the gun, in my opinion. Probably works for some of you Instagram folks who want to match your trigger to and your mag release to your base plates, because they offer all those for sale, as well as a slide plate cover so you can really bling your Glock. I don't know if it fits the 140mm mag gauge for USPSA. It might. It's pretty close. It probably does. I'm assuming it does. The way that it goes on is there's an Allen key right there that holds this plate on, and then the magazine slides out. They do not give you a new floor plate or extended power spring to make the magazine more reliable. This never locked the slide back out of the box on the pistol, whereas the other 2 did lock the slide back for at least a week or 2 before the spring took a set and stopped locking the slide back. Which isn't so much a problem because you don't expect it to lock the slide back, but it is indicative of the amount of force the round is being fed up into the chamber with. So if your slide gets slowed down for any reason, you might have a malfunction potentially. So definitely, if you really like the look of these, go ahead and get the extra power springs for your magazines as well while you're at it, and you'll probably get better service. The standard capacity on these is about 22 rounds, which is standard for a 140mm base plate. Magazine extensions verboten, so these are not magazine extensions, these are base plates. Anyway, that's that, and my biggest beef with this is when they're sitting in a mag pouch like this, and you go to grasp to reload, you're indexing on the magazine like this. You're grasping with these 3 fingers to extract it from the mag pouch. So when you grasp it, you're hitting this crazy thing in the back here that's just there for no reason. So you're grabbing onto that, pulling it out of the pouch, and then the front still has a pretty pronounced lip, which I don't really like. It just feels awkward in hand. It's just very foreign. It's not very wieldy, if that's a word that we'll use here. That's the word we're going to use. So that's last place as far as I'm concerned. Second to last place is the Dawson Precision toolless base plate. This is a pretty good base plate, but I have a little bit of beef for it. Similar to the Hyve, it's got a very pronounced nose. So when you go to grasp it, this thing hits in your hand and just it affects my ability to get a good grasp on the magazine. A little bit of the time it's easier with the TTI, so I don't really like that. This dovetail base plate, it just kind of slides off. Let's see if I can actually slide it off. It's not going to go right now. It gets stuck sometime, and that's actually a criticism of it. So while it is toolless, and that's a neat idea, if you bang it and bang up the corners, which this has been dropped on concrete a few times, so the corners are banged up, it takes a little bit of elbow grease to get the things off. So it's not as toolless as they'd have you believe. It's still an interesting design, But like I say, you can get the dovetail kind of banged up, and then it's not quite as toolless as it once was. Standard capacity on these is going to be 22. So that's, you know, pretty good. And for $33, it's a pretty good value offering. They're available in just bare aluminum or black. So those are your options there on the Dawsons. Not a bad choice, but I wouldn't recommend it. It is about $10 cheaper than our TTI magazines. The TTI magazines are available in all the colors of the rainbow that they anodize aluminum in. It's held in place by this little pin at the back, which is secured by it's on this side only, I guess, by this Allen key. So you loosen this Allen key and this pin moves up and down easily. It's not a great design because if you have a magwell or some kind of grip plug, there's a chance that this pin could conflict with that and not seat all the way. So you may have to leave the pin sitting a little bit taller. You may have to grind it down depending on what your situation is with a grip plug. But standard capacity is 23 rounds on these. It's not quite reloadable. Reloading to 23, I've still managed to get it to not lock in when doing it in anger. So I would still consider this a 22 reloadable magazine, but you can start with 23 and that's not nothing. That's actually useful. So in carry optics, you can start with 23 plus 1, which is by USPSA rules going to be 3 positions, and I have shot to 24 before. So I've got a couple of these. I'm going to look to add a couple more. So Taran Butler, if you're watching this, and I don't think that you are, but if somebody shows it to you, I just want you to know that you make excellent base plates. Your shooting team is talented, and you've got the greatest hair in the showbiz. So if you wanted to, you know, send me some more base plates, that'd be awesome. That's not going to happen, but I appreciate you guys watching. I would recommend the Taran Tactical. Yes, they cost a little bit more money, but I think they're superior, and this is not really an item that you're going to buy a ton of. So you're talking about 20, 30, 40 bucks total in the scheme of things is not the end of the world. So that's what I've got for you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for checking in, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Unless you're still hearing the sound of my voice, in which case you're a stud and you know that the internet is forever and the comments live forever, and you like to play the comment game. So today's comment game we have is you're going to refute every point that I make about the ergonomics of these base pads, because the correct way to store magazines in your mag pouches when shooting competition is bullets facing backwards or in. So make up all the mental gymnastics you care to justify it, but the bullets need to face backwards or in. And if you come up with some witty banter on that, you will earn the heart of the creator, and that's what it's all about. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.